So what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is what I call the Great Thaw. The Great 2020 Thaw after that crazy storm that we had where we got almost 2 feet of snow in East Texas, and that just doesn't happen. -2 with -11 feels like temperature. I go by the feels like because, you know, I don't care what it is, I care what it feels like to me. Now we still have the cows here in the permanent paddock because they still have some hay to eat. And then also, ooh, that wind, okay, it's a little bit chilly. Because after this whole craziness of a storm, it's gonna be muddy. And it's already starting to get muddy in this permanent paddock here. So I'm making this the sacrifice paddock until stuff kind of saturates and the ground gets kind of back to normal. Because, I mean, it's soft, it's real soft. So I don't necessarily want to turn the cows out on really soft ground, because then they'll just pug it up and then we get goat weed. Hopefully what we did last year by moving the cows every day and going with the scythe and going behind it and pulling it out, hopefully that's going to make a big difference to where hopefully we have very little. I'm sure we'll still have some, but if we do that for the next probably 2 years, it should be gone, or at least to where we don't have to worry about it at all. But the cows here, they're in this permanent paddock. This is the place they've actually been the longest by far since we've had them. And what I'm doing is I'm putting the round bales out strategically around their, you know, their poop, to where it kind of acts like the Joel Salatin method at the hay shed, to where, hey, you know what, there's poop, we're gonna cover it with carbon and then it's going to, you know, compost. The problem is when I talked to Joel actually in the last interview, I was asking him about, okay, would this method work just for a short period of time? And he goes, if it doesn't rain. If it doesn't rain, because the main thing is moisture here. If it rains, it takes about 2 or 3 inches of carbon, wood chips, or in this case hay, in order to absorb that moisture. And if it doesn't absorb it, then you have issues. I'm gonna keep them in here as long as I can until this place can dry out a bit, and hopefully it doesn't rain. We don't want to rain right now, because if it rains, they're out. There's no getting around that. So as you can see, this is where a hay bale was, and I mean, it's thick down here. I mean, it is, look, like there's probably 8 inches of hay underneath us right now. Other spots, not so much. Want to get another hay bale probably right over there, maybe, and then cover all that stuff with hay. That way it's like I said, carbonaceous diaper, and I'll start to compost. But there's a slight chance we might get a rainstorm, and if that happens, they're out, and they're gonna go over here. I have a hay bale waiting. I have a hay bale waiting for them right there. That they're gonna go into that paddock. There's not much to eat over there as far as stockpile, because 1, it's into February, and 2, yeah, that storm that didn't help us much. See, we're only a couple weeks away from spring. We just have to extend it just a little bit longer, and we should be okay. Also, I thought we made it unscathed from the storm, but yeah, that's not the case. We have a pretty big issue. Let me show it to you. And the problem is this right here. Yeah, not good. This right here was the pipe that we used for our well. Yeah, not so good. It's the faucet. It's where we connected the faucet and everything. So I come out yesterday to try and get the well started, try and get back to normal, and that happens. Not good. Not good at all. So I'm trying to rig something up. It is Sunday here right now, so I can't run to the hardware store because they're closed, and I don't have time to run to Lowe's today. So trying to see what I can do about this. We do have the PVC to kind of piecemeal it back together, but I don't have the primer or the glue, so that's what I gotta wait till tomorrow to do. But I did talk to a plumber, because I already had this project planned for a while now. Just wanted to see when he could do it. And we're actually gonna be putting a frost-free drinker like right around here. Don't mind my water lines like crazy, because that's what happens when you try and move water during a storm. You have to go through water line after water line after water line. I ended up running to Tractor Supply to get like 4 60-foot hoses to get water out to the cows, and then that stopped working, so I had to do the buckets. That wasn't fun. The plumber said he could be out later this week, hopefully. That'd be great, make my life a lot easier, because that's actually where I want the water system. I just need to do something in order to, you know, get there. I mean, worst comes to worst, I can always just hook back up to the house, but I don't like doing that. I just would rather have the cows drinking from the well. Then also we got this. These right here are some bare root trees that we ordered from a nursery online. And the way that the bare root nurseries work is they send the trees out, we ordered them months ago, and they send them out when the time is best for your agricultural zone. Well, we had the storm. So hopefully these will make it. These right here are gonna be in our permaculture orchard. These are thornless honey locust. And we got the thornless variety because, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a honey locust before, but yeah, those thorns can get really, they're similar to the black locust. And yeah, we tried keeping them, tried storing them. Roots got frozen. They should be okay because they're dormant right now. And they actually look, the stems and everything actually look pretty good. So we're gonna just soak them in here, let the ice melt off, let them soak for an hour or two, and then we gotta get these in the ground. Not the most ideal day by any means to plant these, but yeah, we gotta get these in the ground because they got here like the day the storm started, when mail could still get delivered. Alright, so it's the next day, and I don't think I explained to you why I'm planting thornless honey locusts and why I'm kind of excited about them. First off, I couldn't find them anywhere around here, and there's a very specific tree that I was looking for. Because what they do is they fix nitrogen. They take nitrogen from the air and then put it back into the soil. Nitrogen is the main thing that helps plants grow like crazy. When you see a really, really green spot on your lawn or in the pasture, it's because there's a ton of nitrogen there. It might be where your dog pooped, or in this case a cow, but plants also do it too. So it might not look like much now, it looks like just a stick, but we're following Stefan Sobkowiak's, I think I got that right, method from Canada, and he's a permaculture orchardist there, to where we have an apple tree there, we have a nitrogen fixer there, and then we have a peach tree there. So it's not in order, but N-A-P, to where he jokes where it's so easy to take care of, you can just take a nap. So this tree here, this soon-to-be tree, this little stick, can grow up to be like 100 and something feet tall. I'm not gonna let it get that tall by any means. We're probably gonna let it only get to maybe 20 feet. I'm gonna get up there with the ladder and keep chopping it, keep chopping it, keep chopping it. One, adds biomass to the ground because we're just gonna use it as mulch. Secondly, we don't want to get it that tall. Why? Because then it'll shade out everything, and we don't want that. So this tree is going to work together with the peach tree and the apple tree, and then the future bushes and shrubs that we have here, because we're going to go two shrubs right there, two shrubs right there, and then we're going to plant some perennial, maybe like strawberries or something like that underneath it. That way, in this 30-foot section right here, we have an apple tree, two shrubs, we'll say, raspberry or goji berry or something like that. And then underneath, we're gonna have a whole bunch of, we'll call it just strawberries for now. All right here in this 30-foot section, there's two fruit trees, four shrub, berry bushes, plus a ton underneath it, and it's all getting fertilized by this guy right here and the mulch that we have. So like I've said in all my videos, we're starting small, so we miss small, aim small, miss small kind of thing. So I'm pretty sure this is gonna work. Everywhere that I've read this has worked. All of Stefan's videos, it's obviously worked because he's got this amazing orchard now. So let's cross our fingers that it works this year, and then we'll replicate this the whole property. And what I mean by the whole property, what we're gonna do is we have our lane here. It's a little bit messy right now because of the storm and I gotta get some of the net wrap up. But this lane right here, we're gonna go whole way down, all this system right here with a bunch of fruit trees, nitrogen fixers. One, this lane, we need it for the cows, and this is the only area that we really drive on because that way we don't compact the soil on either side. Two, what it's gonna do is, especially on this side, it's the north side of the field because this is south. These trees are going to be providing a shade cover all along this side here so the cows can come lay under it during the summertime. I'm actually really thinking about going along that fence line back there and planting a bunch of maybe fruit trees or something like that. I don't know yet. Maybe. That way it can give the cows shade over here. And then thirdly, well, third and fourth, it provides a bunch of food for us, and then it looks really pretty to where we have like a green belt going down the center of our property. So if we want to go for a walk or something like that, this is where we go. It'd be pretty cool. Alright, so now I'm probably going to be off to the hardware store to pick up some PVC and see what we can do about that well situation, because we got to fix that. Well, I didn't film it because it gave me a bunch of issues, but I got the well fixed. Not so much this little setup. It's not very pretty, but it was more the refreshing, the priming of the system, and yeah, it's fixed now. Thank you. Easy.